Nexus flipping with Molly and cocaine. Yo, what's going on? It's someone that's no one here today, and welcome to today's report. This report was sent in by Shiloh. It happened on March 9th, 2019. Gender, female. She used LSD, MDMA, Molly specifically, and cocaine. And hold the phone. Some of y'all might be like, wait, what, where's the 2CB? Alright, she titled this Nexus flipping, and I'm just going to leave it as that. I don't know if she made a mistake on her end, or if she wanted it to kind of portray that. There's also nitrous oxide she uses later on in the experience as well. The age she was at the time was 16. The dose, she took 3 tabs of LSD. The MDMA, it's estimated to be a point each time she dosed, and the cocaine was done over a period of time, like a length of time as well, and it was, the doses were kind of taken all throughout different points through the whole experience. And where this happened was Austin, Texas. And that's all the info we got on this report. So this is a pretty good one. It's a pretty real one in my opinion, and I think you guys will really like this one. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. March 9th, 2019, during South by Southwest weekend in Austin, Texas, I decided to sneak out of my house on house arrest with a 30-year-old man at 16 years old to 6th Street in Austin. Not the smartest idea. The guy was a creep, but I didn't care. I did bring a friend with me named Elisa. I have always been extremely curious, and I wanted to go out and experience life. We went to 6th Street, and it was a lot of fun. I'm a cute young girl, and because of the person I was with, we will say his name is Carlos for the sake of privacy. I was able to pass security since he knew the workers at the club. I got free drinks, including a giant $30 blue margarita larger than my head, was handed cocaine, and went to do a few key bumps in the bathroom. I had one experience with cocaine previously, and I wasn't too big of a fan. This time around, I was able to enjoy it. It gave me a rush, and I felt hyperactive and energized. Throughout the night, I continued going to the bathroom and taking more key bumps in the bathroom to avoid the dreaded come down that made me want to nap. My heart was racing. I was given Molly in the car on the way to the clubs as well. MDMA is a substance that I've had many experiences with and is one of my drugs of choice. Carlos told me to eat the Molly rock. I had never eaten Molly before. My friends and I had always parachuted it and wrapped a point in toilet paper, then swallowed it with water. The taste was disgusting. It took about 45 minutes to kick in. I had Serial Killer by Lana Del Rey on the subwoofers when I finally felt the Molly hit. Pure bliss rushing through my body. I felt the music washing from head to toe. My head tilted up, eyes pressed close. My mouth opened aggressively, singing along, "Do it for the thrill of the rush." I opened my eyes and saw tall streetlight poles with circles at the top and lights around those circles. I had never seen such beautiful streetlights. They looked like UFOs. Carlos told me they were called moon towers, and they are only in Austin. I was in love. I was staring up, getting excited for the next one to pass over my head in the car. At 2 a.m., the clubs closed, and I wasn't feeling the Molly as much anymore. After losing myself on the dance floor and shredding it with my dancing, I decided the night couldn't be over. Carlos hit up his friend Marcus, and we met him at a popular venue called Indra's a Warehouse for an after party. I met him in the parking lot, and he brought a giant bag of Molly out of his pocket. He placed about a point's worth of amber crystals in my hand, and I licked them off my hand and tasted the awful chemical salt. We went into Indra's, and Carlos pretended he had no money to get Marcus to buy our wristbands, which upset me, but I kept my mouth shut, for it wasn't my place to talk. On the dance floor, there was fire performers, hula hoopers, and acrobats. Everyone was wearing crazy outfits, and electronic dance music was playing, a genre I was not very familiar with. The inside was a bohemian hippie warehouse. It was beautiful. Marcus, Carlos, Lisa, and I went upstairs to the VIP lounge and sat on a rocking chair watching the stage acts. Marcus brought out a 10 strip of acid. I ate 3 tabs, Marcus ate 2, and Lisa ate 1. I was very familiar with LSD, however, I had never exceeded 2 doses. Lisa has never tried it. I met Robin, Marcus's roommate, and discovered they were DJs at the clubs on 6th Street, and that amazed me. We all went to Marcus's and Robin's house after Indra's. Me and Lisa were begging them to let us play Minecraft, chanting, "Minecraft! Minecraft!" They finally gave up and handed me the Xbox remote. The acid had kicked in, and I was feeling it strong. My brain could not focus, and mining trees seemed like an impossible task. When daylight came around, Lisa requested Carlos to take her home. I did not want to spend time with Carlos. He creeped me out, but of course I went along. I was wearing a white and silver bustier under an Obey hoodie. I purposely left the bustier on the ottoman in the living room, so we were obligated to go back to Marcus's house after dropping off Lisa. She started freaking out and yelling at Carlos to stop the car because she did not feel safe with him driving. We went back to grab my top, and there was a very handsome man that was not there before when we left. He was very tall and had a very cute face. He had shoulder-length blonde curly hair and plush lips. And holy shit, did he catch my eye. Marcus put on EDM and an acid visualizer. Devin was his name. He ate 4 tabs of acid. Carlos was being creepy with me and asked me to give him a kiss on the cheek, and I said no. I tried to sit far away from him. Devin favored 100 whipped cream chargers and introduced me to a drug called Nitrous Oxide that I had never heard before. Carlos was on the other couch staring at me, and I told him to stop because it was making me uncomfortable. He said, "What I like? Looking at pretty things." Devin commented, "I love looking at pretty things." I blushed, lowered my head forward a little bit, sucked my lips in, trying not to smile, and looked at him through the top of my eyes, blushing. Carlos did not like this too much. Carlos advised me not to take any whippets. I, however, don't like being told what to do and persisted. I brought the cracker to my face and pressed the trigger, and it aggressively filled my lungs and hurt and scared the shit out of me. I immediately exhaled, expecting smoke to come out, and verbalized that, and my voice sounded like I had been huffing helium. Devin said to let me do it for you and held it to my mouth sideways. I'm a 40 girl, and when I see the opportunity to create an innuendo around a cute being, I take it. I pursued my lips around the tip of the canister and gave him eye contact as I inhaled. Everything went womp, 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 and looked like a shaking time-lapse. The EDM music in the background was crazy intense. I looked at a gold ceiling decoration, and it deteriorated by pixelating into nothing. It was like nothing I had ever felt before. I took a break for a while, and Devin sat in front of me on the ottoman and started moving his fingers in a crazy way with such crisp, sharp technique. I called it finger dancing. I had never seen anyone do that before. It was crazy. I looked at him and laughed. It was so cool. Carlos got jealous and said, "That's enough." I was staring at Devin's tattoo on the other couch, and it was super geometric and trippy. I was amazed. I told him, and he was flattered. He invited me outside to smoke a cigarette with him. We sat down, and I was hoping Carlos wouldn't come outside so I could get his Snapchat. He moved his arm up, and it was huge. He was a bodybuilder and had 245 pounds of solid muscle I didn't notice before. It was crazy. Unfortunately, Carlos tagged along. Back in the living room, Devin sat next to me on the couch, and I pervertedly hit another whippet. This time, there was crazy tracers of blue, red, and green when Marcus refilled the canister. Devin looked at me and chomped his teeth. Holy shit. That's when I knew I was in interest. Damn, was I lucky. I thought to myself that I came with another guy and was curious on how I was going to retrieve this hunk's Snapchat. Love at first sight? I think so. Carlos continued making me uncomfortable. I started crying because of how fucked up I was. I didn't think he'd be able to take me home safely, and that terrified me. In all honesty, I was in a room full of strangers on a new drug, and that terrified me. Devin looked at me and pointed to his phone, suggesting I give him my contact. He told me I was going to get home okay and not to be upset. Carlos took me home safely, and that was the end of that. I rushed to tell my friend I was in love with this finger-dancing blonde Tarzan. I bought Tinder Gold and changed all my settings to that area to find the love of my life, with no luck. I asked Carlos for everyone's info of the people I met that night. He gave me a girl named Tracy's info. I contacted her, asking for her Facebook, and went under friends to find Marcus. Then I searched for Devin and found him. He shortly after messaged me, "Hey good looking," and I screamed inside. To this day, we see each other every weekend. I am now 17, the legal age of consent in Texas, and we do whippets, a variety of drugs, have super kinky sex, listen to EDM. I learned his finger dancing is an art called gloving in the Austin community and is performed with LED lights. He gives me private light shows and sometimes throws me a heart in the middle that makes my heart scream. We relate to each other on a whole nother level. I am thankful for this life-changing experience and very happy to experience this journey. It is 2.5 months later, and he is taking me to my first rave Saturday.